Imagine it is 3 in the morning. You are drifting through a peaceful dream, maybe wandering on a quiet beach when suddenly you feel it. That heavy, prickling sensation of being watched. You crack one eye open and there she is, inches from your face, sitting perfectly still like a furry gargoyle. In that moment, you probably think she is either plotting your demise or perhaps she has just decided that her breakfast bowl looks suspiciously empty. But the truth is far more complex and honestly a bit more touching. We often like to think we know our cats inside and out, but if we are being truthful, we tend to treat them like small, fluffy humans, or perhaps very strange, aloof dogs. And that is exactly where the trouble starts. Cats are evolutionary masterpieces that have barely changed over the last several thousand years. Inside that domesticated exterior lives the soul of a desert predator, the African wildcat, trying to navigate a world of central heating and high-speed internet. When we do things that seem perfectly logical or even affectionate to us, we are often sending signals that trigger their deepest survival instincts or put them in a state of high alert. Let us start with something almost everyone does: the long, loving gaze. Humans value eye contact. It is how we build trust and show we are listening. But for a cat, a steady, unblinking stare is a direct declaration of war. In the wild, predators lock eyes right before the final strike. When you stare at your cat with all your love, she is actually wondering when you are going to pounce. This explains why, at a dinner party, a cat will almost always gravitate toward the one person who hates cats or is allergic to them. That person is ignoring the cat and looking away, which in cat language is the height of polite conversation. They are essentially saying, "I am not a threat, I respect your space." If you really want to tell your cat you love her, try the slow blink. Close your eyes halfway, hold it, and look away. That is the feline psychological equivalent of a warm hug. The second point involves one of the most effective traps in the animal kingdom: the soft, fluffy belly. Your cat flops down, rolls over, and presents that glorious patch of fur. You think she wants a belly rub, you reach out, and 3 seconds later, your hand is being treated like a frantic squirrel. This isn't a betrayal, it is biology. The abdomen is the most vulnerable part of a cat. All their vital organs are right there, protected by nothing but a thin layer of skin and fur, without any ribcage for defense. When a cat shows you her belly, she is showing you that she trusts you not to kill her. It is a demonstration of safety, not an invitation for a massage. When you grab that belly, her amygdala fires off a massive warning, and her primitive reflexes take over to protect her vitals. Imagine if someone tried to poke you in the throat as a greeting. You would probably swat their hand away too. A third mistake we often make is the placement of the food and water bowls. We tend to tuck them into quiet corners or right against a wall to keep them out of the way. But think like a hunter who is also small enough to be prey. When a cat eats with its face pressed against a wall, it is completely blind to what is happening behind its back. In the wild, that is when a larger predator would strike. Many cats are chronically anxious during mealtime because of this. Then there is the issue of whisker fatigue. A cat's whiskers are highly sensitive tactical organs, packed with nerve endings. If a bowl is too deep and narrow, those whiskers brush against the sides every time the cat takes a bite, causing sensory overload. It is like someone shining a strobe light in your eyes while you're trying to eat soup. Switching to flat plates in an open area can change a cat's entire personality. Point 4 is the myth of punishment. When your cat scratches the expensive leather sofa or knocks a vase off the shelf, the human instinct is to shout or use a spray bottle. Here is the hard psychological truth. Cats do not understand the concept of a penalty. They do not link the spray of water with the scratching they did 30 seconds ago. They link the scary, wet sensation directly to you. To them, you have suddenly become an unpredictable, aggressive roommate who attacks for no reason. This destroys the bond of trust you have spent years building. Cats only respond to positive reinforcement or environmental changes. If she scratches the sofa, it is because that sofa is an excellent territory, marking tool. The only way to stop it is to provide a better alternative right next to it and make the sofa feel unpleasant to her paws, perhaps with double-sided tape. Fifth, we need to talk about using your hands as toys. It is adorable when a kitten pounces on your wiggling fingers, but you are effectively training a predator to view human skin as a legitimate target. For a cat, once the hunting drive is switched on, there is no difference between your thumb and a mouse. The problem is that kittens grow up, their teeth get longer, and their bite force increases significantly. If you teach them that hands are for biting when they are young, you cannot blame them for being aggressive when they are older. Always use a wand or a toy to create a buffer. Your hand should be reserved strictly for affection and food, keeping a clear psychological boundary between play hunting and social bonding. Sixth is the hidden impact of scents. We love our scented candles, citrus cleaners, and floral perfumes. For a cat, this is sensory torture. A cat's sense of smell is roughly 14 times stronger than ours. They even have the Jacobson's organ in the roof of their mouth that allows them to taste the air. When we douse our homes in artificial fragrances, we are erasing the cat's own scent marks. Cats rub their cheeks on furniture and on us to leave pheromones that tell them this place is safe. When we scrub those away or drown them in lavender, the cat feels like a stranger in its own home. This loss of territorial security is a leading cause of stress-related behaviors, including marking outside the litter box. Point 7. Disturbing their sleep. Cats sleep up to 16 hours a day, which looks like laziness but is actually high-efficiency energy conservation. Their metabolism is wired to go from 0 to 60 in a heartbeat to catch prey. To do that, they need to regenerate ATP reserves, which only happens during deep sleep. When we wake them up just because they look cute, we are interrupting a vital biological process. A chronically sleep-deprived cat becomes irritable, and their immune system can actually be measured as weaker. Now for point 8, we have to address the way we pick them up and hold them. For a cat, losing contact with the ground is one of the most terrifying experiences possible. In their evolutionary history, the only time a cat was lifted off the ground against its will was when a bird of prey or a larger predator had caught it. When you scoop a cat up and let its back legs dangle, you are triggering a deep-seated fear of being abducted. Even if they trust you, that lack of stability sends their stress hormones, particularly cortisol, through the roof. Their vestibular system, which is incredibly sensitive to balance and gravity, starts firing off panic signals because they have no way to right themselves if they were to fall. If you must pick them up, you have to be their solid ground. One hand must go under the chest, and the other must immediately support the hindquarters and back legs. They need to feel like they are standing on you, not hanging from you. Furthermore, many people try to hold cats like human babies, on their backs. This exposes that vulnerable belly we talked about earlier and forces them into a position of total helplessness. This creates a psychological state called tonic immobility or learned helplessness, where the cat might go still, but inside they are in a state of high-stress shutdown. Respecting their autonomy and only lifting them when necessary, and always with full support, is crucial for their mental well-being. There is a moment in every cat owner's life where these facts become more than just trivia. We have spent this time talking about what we do wrong, but the most important thing to watch for is when the cat stops doing things. Cats are the world's greatest actors when it comes to hiding pain. This is a survival mechanism. In the wild, any sign of weakness or illness is an invitation for a predator to move in. Because of this, a cat will not cry or whimper like a dog might. If your cat suddenly stops her morning routine, if she stops grooming that one spot on her back, or if she suddenly stops jumping onto her favorite high shelf, do not assume she is just getting old or lazy. A sudden cessation of normal behavior is the loudest scream a cat can give. It is her only way to tell you that something is wrong. By the time a cat actually looks sick, the issue is often quite advanced. Understanding these 8 points isn't about being a perfect pet owner. It's about shifting your perspective from a human-centric world to a feline one. When you stop fighting their instincts and start working with them, the mystery of the moody or unpredictable cat evaporates. It is replaced by a relationship built on genuine mutual respect for the little desert predator living in your living room. Sometimes the best way to show you care is simply to step back and let a cat be exactly what nature intended her to be.